Man, do I have a special treat for you today. We're talking 3 big-time deep sleepers you must stash. And here's the good part. One of them, the actual NFL player, is here on the show at the end. Don't fast forward to the end. We've got a lot to talk about with breaking news here with Breaking Brad, the 2 sleepers. And then we're going to get to the short interview I had with this potential sleeper breakout wide receiver that I absolutely love. I'm excited to dive into this show. It's going to be exciting, and it's so great to have these athletes on to get a sense of how they think, how they feel, what the thought process is, and also get to know their personality. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to not only entertain you, but also educate you on their personalities. And I'm also trying to motivate these guys that, hey, man, I'm in on you for fantasy. I would love for you to succeed. Let's go crush it. And I'm just liking the attitudes and the positivity that's coming out of these young men. So it's exciting. I'm super pumped up. So we got a player on the show. I'm excited to dive in. If you are new to the channel, give a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. I want to get this message out. I'm working hard as an independent. I want to get this message out. So hit the thumbs up, smash it, tap it, slap it. Make sure you guys drop a comment below. Leave a comment for the player at the end, okay? I'm excited. Drop it below and hit the thumbs up. And also grab the 16-round draft solution. Sleepers, breakouts, optimal players. I'm handing you this championship on a silver platter. Grab the 16-round draft solution right now. It'll put you light years ahead of the sheep in your leagues. Grab 16 rounds. Get it below. Use code WIN to save. It'll save you 20%. Go use that code right now. You'll never look back at rankings, all right? So we're going to start off with breaking news, Breaking Brad news, and then we're going to get into a couple sleepers and get right to the interview. I'm excited, and we'll dive in, all right? So where are you, Breaking Brad was so excited about the interview yesterday because he ended up meeting the athlete, and he was so excited about the interview that he actually went out for drinks yesterday, came into work a little bit hungover just due to the excitement, but his voice was off. He actually threw out his voice. He was karaokeing as well, but it looks like, I don't know, is your voice back, Breaking Brad? Are you back to 100%?
We now have breaking news.
Oh, perfect. I can't believe it. A night of drinking and celebrating after yesterday's guest and karaokeing, and he's still 100%. All right, so we'll get to that news right now. You want to lead us in again, Brad?
We now have breaking news.
Sounds good every single time. All right, so let's talk about a couple headlines. There isn't too much in the news, but a couple things worth mentioning here. Another sleeper here for you. That's why I got to listen to the news. There's a sleeper here for you. Is Mason Taylor, tight end rookie from the New York Jets, has flashed his potential as a pass catcher during organized team activities, but head coach Aaron Glenn was more impressed with his blocking. He says, quote, "I think he's been doing an outstanding job in that aspect, and it's not just the pass catching, because that's what you guys see. That's what you guys really think is the aha moment, but the blocking is what really gets me going," Glenn recently told the team's website. So Mason Taylor, ability to catch a deeper sleeper at the tight end position. If you're waiting on tight end, stack this guy with someone else, and you got yourself a potential breakout, wide receiver and tight end. You never know. Take a chance on him. He's absolutely free. All right, this guy here, I want to talk about the pronunciation of his name as well. It's a new quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, and basically his name is Tyler, Shough. Now, apparently they pronounce it Shuck, but if I was to pronounce, Shuck is Shuck, I would think, right? So I look at it as Tyler Shruff, right? If you say rough, Rough, right? It's Shuff, Shoughh, because Ough in front of rough is rough. So add an SH, take the R out, Shough is Shuff, rough Shuff. So Tyler Shuff said he does not think things will affect him much during the rookie season because of the various things he has to deal with during his college career. So he's basically saying, I don't care, I'm confident, I'm good to go, is what the feeling I'm getting from it. So good for Tyler Shuff, not Shuck. I don't see a CHK. I don't see a K at all. So I'm going with Tyler Shuff. All right. Elijah Arroyo, another sleeper for you. See, you guys listen to the news. You get these sleepers. Had a good chance to see a solid amount of playing time, even if he is not the starter, because the team likely will use multiple tight ends sets and a good amount of time, in the opinion of Seahawks.com, John Boyle. So he has a good chance to see a solid amount of playing time. I mean, Noah Fant is not that great. Arroyo is a pass-catching tight end. There could be an opportunity in Seattle for this guy to really bloom. I just don't know if there's going to be enough volume share. It's going to be interesting, but another guy you could stash later as a tight end. I got him in a bunch of best ball leagues, just to keep it note of that. Elijah Arroyo, okay? Cleveland Browns' Dylan Sampson worked as both running back and receiver during minicamp, according to running backs coach Deuce Staley. Dylan is able to go play in the slot, and also he's able to go and play on third down and maybe sprinkle in a little second down, Staley said. So this is the issue I have with Judkins. Judkins was a great pick, and I was excited about him. I think they drafted him in the second round. And then they go and draft Sampson, who could have been respectively a starter in the NFL as running back as well. Both relatively solid prospects, top prospects at the running back position, I should say. And they're on the same team, which makes it a committee, which makes it kind of gross if you're looking for fantasy. I still think Judkins is good, but I think Sampson's going to limit a little bit of his ceiling and vice versa, okay? So I like Sampson, but as a sleeper, maybe, all right? Also, again, when you add to it, I also see this. Jerome Ford will be a nice complement to Judkins and Sampson. I mean, another writer's talking about Ford. I don't like this committee stuff. It's got to go away, all right? Washington Commanders QB Jaden Daniels has been working with head coach Dan Quinn to make sure opposing defenses aren't able to key in on any Daniels tendencies. Okay, so obviously you see that with rookie quarterbacks. They come out of the splash. They have a little bit of a sophomore slump the second year. A big part of that, or a formula or a recipe to that, is the decline, is that defenses kind of plan for the ability on first year's tape. So now we've got some tape to watch with Daniels. So Daniels and the coaching are trying to mitigate the risk of him being basically, targeted based on his tendencies. They don't want a CJ Stroud type year is what I'm getting from this comment here. Okay. So Daniels ready for a second year. I'm excited for him. All right. And also finally, a guy I'm not a fan of, but Travis Etienne is expected to remain the team's top running back, according to Demetrius Harvey of Jacksonville.com. All right. So these writers are on the street getting us information. Sometimes I don't believe what some of these writers say. I've talked to beat writers. There was a couple of years ago, I was getting a bunch of beat writers on, and they were telling me certain players are going to outdo certain players. I'm like, no, they're not. Years to wows, we're not wowed. They just kind of go for essentially the narrative. If the player's been there a long time, they kind of show courtesy and respect, even though, like last year, for example, right? If you were to talk to Jacks, I'm not going to quote them. I'm assuming here. But if I were to talk to maybe someone that worked with the Jacksonville team, maybe a beat writer, they would probably also say that Christian Kirk is going to be ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. So they would probably say that based on Kirk being higher on the depth chart momentarily over Brian Thomas, being ranked higher in fantasy, etc. Well, I'm the guy that dives deep and says, hey, man, you got to look outside the box. This guy's had years to wow us. Who's stepping up? What's moving? What's shaking? I'm able to analyze that better than beat writers is what I've noticed. So Etienne, even though he's the starter, I don't trust him for fantasy. Just a committee there. Bigsby's good. They drafted another guy, that Tootin guy. So just a lot of moving parts. Okay. So that's pretty much it for breaking news. Bye now.
We now have breaking news.
Bye, Breaking Brad. We'll see you later. All right. Let's go right to the first sleeper here. Again, we're going to get to the player at the end. So make sure you guys stay. All right. The first sleeper that I've got, we just got 3 quick ones here. We'll get to the interview, is Cam Scatabo. Listen, here's the deal, right? The Giants drafted Scatabo in round 4. Tracy, who was drafted in round 5 a year or two before, Tyrone Tracy, is the starter essentially, but Scatabo's got an opportunity to possibly take that job. I don't know exactly what's happening with the situation. All I know right now is that Scatabo, you can get this guy later. 126 overall is ADP, so that's around round 10. If you want him a little early, you might have to spend a round earlier to get him. We're talking a guy who's got 4.6 speed. He's got this natural lean forward motion to him where he get more short yardage. He's kind of a plug-in for short yardage situations. So he's got the energetic run as well. So he's got a lot of energy. Not to mention great vision, good energy, great hands, decent hands for his size. 5'10", 219 out of Arizona. 4.6 speed does not excite me, but if he gets into the open field, he can really kind of tear it up and get going. And he had 21 rushing touchdowns last year, 1,700 yards. So he's had that workhorse type ability. So is he going to come in and become a Saquon Barkley type fill-in? Probably not. I'm just not sold on Tracy being a true one as well. I would assume that these guys are going to run a committee and then ride the hot hand. Scadabo's got a real opportunity to shine here. He really does. If you want Tracy, he comes off round 8, give or take, depending on your league. He's going to come off a round or 2 ahead of Scadabo. If you want more upside, you draft Scadabo. So a sleeper, a great in short yard situation. I would assume he's going to get a lot of goal line work if they get to the goal line a lot, which they should more this year, with Malik stretching the field and better quarterback play, whoever it may be starting. But, 4.6 speed doesn't excite me, but sometimes you can't always go by that. You just go for the talent, and he's a top prospect, Cam Scadabo, okay? With the running back position. So there is something there. I just don't know how it's going to fizzle out, but I think he can surpass and get on top of that depth chart, all right? Number 2 here, and then we're going to get to our NFL player, is Kyle Williams. Now, Kyle Williams is exciting, okay? He is an exciting player on paper. 4.4 speed out of Washington State. 5'11", around 190 pounds. Explosive off the line, which is and he's got that big playability. So he can catch the ball, get yards after catch. He averaged 17.1 yards per catch last year. So in college, big plays, great route runner from what I hear, deep ball threat, great hands, explosive. What else can you ask for? Now they've got Diggs there. Drake May is obviously growing as a quarterback. We're going to see if he's the real deal, but he's got himself a great offensive weapon here in Kyle Williams. There is some upside, and for fantasy, I don't know if the volume is going to be there if Diggs remains healthy and on the field, and who May is going to gravitate to, because I think Kyle Williams is the future, whereas Diggs is on the tail end of his career. It's going to be interesting to see how much they implement him. And then you got Travion Henderson there, who's an explosive pass-catching back. So there's a lot of weapons here for Drake May to really, really shine in 2025. And Kyle Williams is going to be a beneficiary. Definitely an amazing best ball option is Kyle Williams. Whether you want him in year long, my only thing is how much volume is he going to get? That's the question. And we haven't seen receivers on the Patriots as of late really, really shine and become the huge volume getters. Okay. So maybe a diluted supply of attempts, and I don't know. So he is kind of a dart throw. You can get him after round 10. Great value. Okay. Amazing stuff. Kyle Williams, look out. There's some opportunity there. So let's get to the interview. I want to tell you who it is. It's Dont'e Thornton. The reason I asked him to come on is because he's already getting first team reps. I'm excited about him. And, I love young talent, and he's that unique. He's got that ability, right? He's got the speed and size, which is rare. That's a rare combination. He's got that combination that I love, speed and size. And he goes into a great situation where there isn't a true wide receiver one. Now, I didn't go on and tell him, hey, man, I like you better than Myers, and Myers is chopped liver. Myers is a good receiver, right? But to be straight up with you, I think that this guy has the opportunity. Thornton has the opportunity to be the one. The opportunity is there for the taking, right? Myers is good. My opinion, I don't think he's a true wide receiver one. And that's why they drafted a Jack Beck. That's why they drafted a Dont'e Thornton, because they are looking for that alpha. They want the Jefferson. And Myers could be a great two. He could be the Addison to the Jefferson. Now, am I saying that Thornton is going to be a Jefferson? That's a bold statement. Not necessarily. It depends on how much volume he gets with Geno Smith. It depends on how he adjusts to the NFL. So he's got the ability. He's got the physical attributes to become a great receiver. Soft hands, according to scouting reports, explosive. He's got everything that you need. Red zone threat. He's going to play the X receiver from what you're going to see the conversation. Super excited. And it was an absolute pleasure to have him on the show. I'm going to get to the interview. Let's just roll to it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and make sure you do, in fact, stash this guy, especially in best ball and in all league. Just stash him, because the value you're getting him is absolutely amazing. Grab Thornton in all your leagues. Let's roll to the interview. All right, we are talking deep sleepers, and I've got one of my favorite sleepers, and he won't be a sleeper after you see what he does on the field this season. The great, the powerful soon to be a top fantasy prospect and NFL player. I know I'm building you up here, man, so you got to live up to expectations. But Dont'e Thornton, welcome to the show, man. I'm excited to have you on.
Man, I appreciate it, definitely.
Man, this is so exciting. I'm just going to talk a little bit, give a brief intro, and you can cut me off if I'm wrong here. But this is what I've got here. I got 6'5", 214. What are you walking around at right now?
I'm like 209.
209, okay.
I'm trying to get up to like 215.
Okay, yeah, the reports are crazy. That's like 205, 215, whatever. It mixes it up. So I wanted to get the accurate weight there. 4.3 speed out of Tennessee. Explosive, soft hands, soft. Are they really that soft when they talk about? Is it like you moisturize, right?
Nah, they not moisturized.
Soft hands. You get all these amazing scouting reviews, and then we'll talk a little bit about the negative scouting reviews. Listen, I don't believe anything about scouting reviews, but I want to introduce you to the show. I'll let you talk a little bit. Can you tell the fantasy world a little bit about yourself? Maybe a little backstory, how you got to the NFL, maybe just to give us some context. I'll let you talk.
I've been playing football since I was 4 years old. I started off playing quarterback. I played quarterback until I was in the sixth grade. Then I got to a team that already had a quarterback, so I switched to receiver. Then I say through high school, I was one of the top receivers in Maryland. I had around like 37 offers from all Division I schools. Then I committed to Penn State my sophomore year of high school. Oregon was my dream school. They ended up offering me after I committed. So I flipped, went to Oregon for 2 years. Things ain't really go as how I wanted them to go in terms of like how things were on the field. So I was like, I was going to take a chance, enter the portal, bet on myself. Then I get to Tennessee. And I had not so good season my first year there. Then I had one of my best seasons of my career, my last year. And then that's what helped get me in this position now. Plus the combine.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited about you. 4.3 speed. Had you achieved that speed before combine? Like, are you working on the sprints? Is that something you focus on? Like, I got to get the speed, or like, is that something you just naturally have, or is that something you really worked for to get that type of speed?
I say a combination of both. Like, I'm naturally fast. Like when I was in the 11th grade, I ran a 4.33.
Wow.
I mean, not 4.3, 4.43. My bad. And then the fastest I ran up until the combine, like when I was training, was 4.4 flat. So running the 4.3 flat was crazy to me.
Yeah, man, that's very impressive here. So I want to talk a little bit about the critics here. First of all, it means nothing, and I know it's not getting it to you at all. Just to give you some context to everybody who's listening, some late round wide receivers. You're a 4th round pick, which is pretty impressive. But I don't think that means anything. Antonio Brown in 2010 was a 6th round pick, just to give you some motivation here. Puka Nacua was a round 5 pick. Stephon Diggs, round 5. Tyreek, 5. Edelman, 7. Donald Driver, he's from 99. I don't know if you remember that, but round 7. Pierre Garçon, round 6. And it goes on. Adam Thielen, Wes Welker, all undrafted. So it really means nothing, honestly. And this is why I hate fantasy rankings. Fantasy rankings currently, do you know where you're ranked in fantasy? Are you familiar with the fantasy world at all? And do you know where you're ranked?
Really.
Do you know where you're ranked right now? Okay, this is why rankings don't work. And this is why I do something different. I don't go based off rankings. I go based off talent. So if I see a guy, regardless of his draft talent, like where he's being ranked in fantasy, I still say, make sure you get this guy on your roster. You're one of those guys. To put it in context, Nico Collins was like ranked wide receiver like 90 a couple of years ago. I'm like, dude, get Nico, get Tank Dell on your teams. That's how shallow and pathetic the fantasy rankings are. But you're currently ranked 118th right now, 118. That's just amongst wide receivers. You are ranked 339th amongst all other players in fantasy. That's how rankings don't work. But I believe you're going to finish near the top. And that's where I'm kind of probe in and to see how you're kind of feeling this year and kind of reassure my senses here. Because I'm excited for you, man. I like the landing spot as well. How do you feel so far? Do you like the landing spot? And how has your chemistry been with Geno Smith?
So I feel great. I love it here. Like they're the team that took a chance on me, so I'm gonna give them my every opportunity I get. Gino, great guy. That's my dog. He like my big brother now. And I said we got a great connection. Like, of course, we still like learning how to play the game with each other and stuff like that. But we definitely have a great connection.
I'm excited, man. And a lot of people are excited about Ashton Genty over there. He is like a fantasy stud. He's coming off in the first round, just to give you some context. He's like, and again, that's based on like the draft capital, very high draft capital by team. People assume like he's going to do well. I hope he does. I'm a fan. I'm invested in him as well in fantasy. I just wanted to get your mindset going into the, it's your rookie season. Are you out to prove something? Is there a chip on your shoulder? Or are you just kind of, has anyone gotten in your head? Is there a chip, or is it more just you're going to do your thing?
I never say it's both, like a chip and just me doing the thing that I've been doing my whole life. But yeah, I just want to win. Like whatever come with that, that's what it's going to be.
I like the team. It's a huge revamp from last year. Tons of talent, and the Raiders is a team that I will be watching. I was supposed to get a Raiders hat. I ordered it on Amazon. It got lost in shipment, so it didn't make this episode. So I will be getting a Raiders hat because I have a lot of Raiders fantasy investment here. Let's keep it fun and light here. I wanted to ask you, pregame, is there what's in your headphones? What do you listen to pregame? Anything interesting?
I'll be meditating.
Okay.
Yeah, I meditate a lot pregame. Then I listen to a bunch of crazy music. Like a bunch of music gonna get me riled up before I go on the field.
So a lot of visualization, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of top athletes and the greats have always visualized in the past. Is there any athlete, like particularly wide receiver, that you, number one, compare yourself to, if you even want to do that, and number two, that you basically grew up saying, man, that guy was great. I'd aspire to be similar to that wide receiver?
Yeah, Calvin Johnson.
Oh, for sure. Megatron. Nice.
Yeah. And then Julio Jones.
Yeah, man, great talent. Both those guys, both fantasy studs as well. I don't know if you can answer this in regards to strategy, but earlier on, where do you see yourself playing? Do you see yourself, are they going to put you outside, slot, more of a red zone target, or kind of all around? Do you have any feedback on that, or are you just going, kind of doing your thing right now and figuring it out?
I said, I'm definitely just figuring it out, but I'd say outside receiver.
Yeah, man. I heard your first team. You're getting first team reps right now, from what I hear too, as well. There's tons of reports on that. It's public.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a few of those.
That's great, man. A couple other things I want to talk about here. What do you do for fun? I just kind of want to get a feel for your hobby. Like, I know football is the focus, but we see a lot of athletes doing nightclub stuff, or we see them going to church and stuff. What are some hobbies that you enjoy outside off the field?
Gaming is like I play the game and I stream, and then I like bowling.
Bowling?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. A lot of people like bowling. I had a couple other players. I can't remember who it was last year that likes bowling as well. Also, I want to go over these. Just we could talk a little bit about the haters for motivation here. I just want to go over some of the scouting reports that are negative. Like, it's crazy when they have nothing negative to say about people. And I saw you in another interview with the same thing. He says they go like this when they think of something negative. They say limited route tree remains significantly underdeveloped. Or I like this one. Separation consistency varies wildly from game to game and can completely vanish for long stretches. Like, they always like nitpick little stuff. And then this one here, lacks creativity and explosive lateral agility, tends to, and it just goes on. Like, it's just ridiculous things. Like, well, maybe you've done it once, and they just pound on something just to get a write-up. And this is right off the site called NFL Draft Buzz, where they break down all these. I don't know who the actual scout is, but what do you got to say to the haters that are just out there nitpicking at you?
I don't care about them. Like, they ain't gonna stop me from getting paid and doing what I'm doing on the field.
Exactly.
So they can say what they want. That's fine. Get their little clicks and stuff like that.
Okay, so I asked Kyron Williams this last year for the fantasy people. What do you say to the fantasy folks out? Because there's a lot of us, just to let you know. I know a lot of people like, we don't care about fantasy and that, but I want to explain this to you just because you're going to probably get a lot once, because Kyron Williams went literally undrafted to like being a fantasy god, right? So you might get a lot of like, oh, you didn't perform for me this week. You didn't do well for me this week. It's going to be a lot of that, just a heads up. But the fantasy points are directly proportional to your success. So when you do well on the field, they rise together, right? The ships rise with, you do well, fantasy does well, everybody does well. Is there anything you want to say to people that want to consider drafting you later in drafts? Like how confident, where's the confidence level, Dante?
I'm very confident in it. Like if you take a chance on it, it might work out for you. So
Well, let's put it this way. Your playing ability is like you're humble compared to the way you play. That's for sure. I think you guys should go watch some highlight reels, honestly.
yeah, I'm very humble.
That's
But
what
yeah,
I like.
I think if you have the opportunity to take my player, why not do it? I like
Yeah.
myself from that. But on the flip side, I'm sorry if it don't go as planned for you.
Yeah, you got to have
But
that.
I'm very confident though.
That's what I like, man. You definitely have to have the confidence there. So, man, I'm excited, and I hope to get you on. Listen, don't forget about us once you take off, become a top fantasy. We got to get you back on. This was kind of a pre-interview, to get a sense. And I'm telling everybody, go draft this guy. He's literally going undrafted. It's ridiculous. And that's how shallow the fantasy. We're shallow. We just look. But I'm able to dig deep and find the hidden gems, the guys that are going to break out in great opportunities. And I truly believe you're in an amazing situation.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
Definitely. Is there anything else you'd like to add in regards to like anything else we don't know about you or anything else you want to add going into the season?
Nah, man. I play ball. I like to play the game. I just want to win. That's it.
I think you're just gonna let the talent do the talking. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I ain't really too much of a talker.
Yeah.
So like, y'all gonna see when y'all see it.
Exactly.
One thing I will say is just the people that pick the side that they're on, stay on that side.
You mean like if they pick you like as a player, like if they're on your train now, basically?
Yeah, if they like me now, it's good. If you don't, stay on that same side when things start to change.
Dude, I'm all over the train. I'm all over the train. I want to go on record, and I've been ripped. Like last year, I'll give you a quick example. I was all on the Keon Coleman train. It's just that he got hurt. He just didn't get the volume that he should have. But I think this year he's going to tear it up. I mean, him and Allen should be connecting there. But like, so people are ripping me like, oh, you told me Keon Coleman. I'm like, dude, I was getting him in the 9th round. It's good for fantasy, right? For you right now, your immense value. Like I have to have you on my roster. Like it's without a question. And in fact, I did my draft back in May before there was news about you being on first team. I was like, I saw the talent before. So I'm way before and that's just my style. People just draft and give advice based on rankings. I give advice based on opportunity and talent. And I believe you've got it. And I'm not just here just tooting your horn because like you're on the show. Like I tell people straight up, if a player doesn't do well, I tell them, and that's what I'm kind of known for. So yeah, it's just, positive motivation. That's all.
Definitely.
Well, Dante, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's an absolute pleasure.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Deep sleeper, tons of talent, Raiders Nation. Dude, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for Genty. I'm excited for Geno Smith. I'm just excited for football to start, really.
Man.
When's training camp? That's like around the corner, isn't it? Like first
week?
week?
A couple weeks.
All right, man. I'm wishing you the best. You're young, you're talented, and stay healthy. And I'm genuinely wishing you the best, man.
I definitely appreciate you a lot.
All right. Thank you for coming on the show. Dont'e Thornton, everybody. Well, there you have it. The interview was great. It was absolute pleasure to have him on. I'm going to be bringing more athletes on. So make sure you guys turn on the bell, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was a lot of fun having him on. And these guys are young, right? They're focused. They're just kind of getting in their groove. And I like this silent confidence. He's got this confidence about him that I felt in the conversation when I was talking to him. It sounds like he's gonna get ready to own it. The first team reps is really good. The connection with Geno Smith is amazing. So there's a ton of upside. I'm excited. I'm wishing Dante the best for this season. Hopefully we can get him back on after he breaks out and everybody knows his name. Right now, Raiders Nation knows exactly who he is. You guys know who he is. People that play Dynasty knows who he is, but we want to get his name out to the mainstream. So I'm excited for him. I'll be watching a lot of Raiders because I got a lot of Ashton Jetty stock as well. But it was a pleasure to have him on. And thank you, Dante, for coming on. And thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, thumbs up, and make sure you guys do grab the 16-round draft solution. It'll put you light years ahead of the sheep. Smash it, tap it, slap it, hit that thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video. More great interviews and more great content. The truth to sports and fantasy coming your way. Subscribe. Have yourself an outstanding day.